Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be joined by some members of the working group that put together the IoT security guidelines, standards, and verification system white paper. And we'll dig into a little bit of what that paper has and how these members actually contributed and the important pieces to take away from that. At a high level, just to give you guys kind of a background of what this paper is, it's presenting a framework for cybersecurity standards so that when device manufacturers consider all the standards and best practices that are applicable to their product, they will actually have a guideline of how to go about getting that done. The paper looks at credible actors in the space and compares and contrasts them to various approaches to cybersecurity verification, accreditation, and testing. Most folks, but currently, there are no recognized international IoT cybersecurity standards which IoT device manufacturers can conform. So it leaves them wanting and needing some sort of a label or consumer-facing recognition program they can leverage so that people will trust their products, especially when we look at the consumers and the connected home. So today I'm joined by, as I mentioned, members of the working group. And I'll give a brief introduction of each and then give them a short period to actually speak and introduce themselves as well. First up, we have Gonda Lamberink. Gonda is an experienced business development manager in Underwriter Laboratories' Identity Management and Security Division. She focuses on cybersecurity for IoT market segments globally, including smart home, smart building, and Industry 4.0. She's a thought leader and driving the business opportunities and building capabilities within UL to provide IoT manufacturers and service providers with cybersecurity advisory, testing, and compliance solutions. IoT applications of focus include smart home, entertainment, appliances, building security, building automation, energy management, lighting, and industrial control systems. I'm sorry, somebody say something? Prior to developing a focus on IoT cybersecurity with UL also, Gonda worked on a digital payment security for E&M Commerce. Before joining UL, she also worked as a strategy consultant with PwC Transaction Services in Amsterdam and as an economist with the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs. So please welcome Gonda to the panel. Gonda, would you like to say a few words?
Good morning, everybody. I guess also testing my audio, but pleased to be on and looking forward to the discussion.
Great, thank you, Gonda. We're also joined by Andre Ristaino. Andre is the Managing Director of Global Alliances, Consortia, and Conformance Programs for the ISA, the International Society of Automation, based in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina. Starting in 2007, Mr. Ristaino developed ISA's conformance certification programs, including ISA Secure Control Systems, cybersecurity certification program that certifies automation and control system products to the IEC 62443 series of international standards. He directs ISA's consortiums and alliances, including ISA Security Compliance Institute, ISA Wireless Compliance Institute, ISA GCA, Logic, FGC, FCG collaboration, OPAP collaboration, FDT collaboration, and Fundación Chile. I would look forward to understanding what all those different groups do as well, Mr. Ristaino. He's an international presenter on ISA and IEC 62443 standards and automation control system certification. He's an invited expert to the ERN CIP in support of the EU Control System Cybersecurity Certificate Initiative and an advisor on research projects on malware and the bulk electric distribution network. Prior to ISA, Mr. Ristaino held positions at NEMA, Renaissance Worldwide, and Deloitte and Consulting and Advanced Manufacturing Technology Group, where he was a recognized leader in system lifecycle methodologies. Industries served include state and local governments, utilities. Mr. Ristaino has done it all, and he's earned a BS in Business Management from the University of Maryland, College Park, and an MS in Computer Science Applications at the American University in DC, with a focus on expert systems and artificial intelligence. Mr. Ristaino holds an API SCS CPIM certification. So Andre, can you give us a few words?
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here today and be happy to provide any input on the state of certification for automation and control systems today in IoT.
Absolutely. We look forward to your participation and contribution. We also have Chris Larry. Chris is the Director of Engineering, Energy Engineering at EXP US Services. Chris's background is he's basically located in Richmond, graduate of Penn State with a bachelor's in architectural engineering BAE program. He spent about 30 years working with clients to minimize the building industry's energy and environmental footprint through redefining building design, building modeling, performance optimization, and intelligent controls. He's leading the industry through his work with the Association of Energy Engineers, AEE, where he has been a local chapter president, has instructed the Certified Energy Manager training courses of AEE. AEE chose him as Energy Engineer of the Year in 2000, an international award. He's held numerous positions within the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning, ASHRAE, including chapter president, society chairman of the Chapter Technology Transfer Committee, the chairman for Technology, Energy, and Governmental Activities, and multiple TC committees. He was the chairman for the Building Intelligent Quotient, BIQ, within CABA, and is a CABA ambassador. Chris is the member of Zero Energy Commercial Building Consortium, a consortium working with the DOE to achieve sector-wide market transformation and have helped the DOE support the industry's drive towards zero energy building design. Chris, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, thank you. I'm humbled to be part of this group. Hopefully I can add some kind of real world applications to what we're talking about. You know, being a consultant of IoT solutions, we run into cybersecurity all the time, and I've been working with the NTIA to develop their new paper on cybersecurity and how manufacturers can prepare for that.
Absolutely, and we look forward to finding what that real world application looks like, as opposed to the standards and the pieces that are there. So let me start by just as looking through the paper and the work that's been done by the group. It's a great collection to kind of steer manufacturers in the right direction. But it's interesting because to me, it's the same challenge that we have across anywhere where you have multiple standards that are available. Their standards are laid out, and we're talking ISO, we're talking UL, we're talking SA, we're talking NIST. A lot of different standards kind of are identified here, and it turns out that a lot of them have different approaches. So what I'd like first to do is kind of understand from each of you your kind of take on the variety of the standards that are there. And number one, how they're going to answer to the why. And the why is the responsibility manufacturers need to take to make sure that their products are safe and secure, which today is something responsible to do, but in the future may be something that brings a liability with it. So let's start an address to the group, and I'm not going to actually address any individual. You can just kind of grab the question yourself. Let's talk about the examples within your work of the IoT security guidelines that you guys are taking for smart homes, specifically in context with this conversation. Anyone?
This is Gonda. I'm happy to maybe kick it off with some perspectives and discussions. So as we contributed to the white paper effort, which started last year, and then the white paper was published earlier this year, it's a quickly evolving and emerging landscape of both standards and also best practices or more guideline documents. And I think we'll see more of it. There's not necessarily one standard that's going to fit all, and maybe also further segmentation depending on the verticals where smart connectivity and smart technology is applicable. So, for example, maybe different standards and frameworks depending on whether it's industrial or commercial or consumer smart environment. So as UL, we try and be flexible as well and provide assessment services and conformity assessment to multiple standards and frameworks, including to UL 2900, where we see good traction in the healthcare space, for example, to IEC 62443 as a standard or family of standards, where we see good traction in the industrial/commercial space. And then also to more baseline level security standards or guidelines that are emerging, including in the consumer IoT space, such as in Europe, a new standard that was published, EN 303645, which was not covered in the white paper last year, but is an important development, at least in Europe. And for example, we have an assessment option, the IoT security rating, UL's IoT security rating, that covers kind of multiple of these standards/frameworks in baseline security or minimal critical security requirements.